last time we built a real-time analytics pipeline with BigQuery and PubSub. Now, what if you could add computer vision to your app with just a few lines of Python? No PhD, no training a custom model. Just call the Vision API and you're labeling images instantly. That's the power of GCP's AI stack, and it's where we're headed in this part of the series. Artificial intelligence isn't one technology. It's the whole field of making machines mimic human intelligence. From rule-based chess engines in the 1950s to today's self-driving cars, AI covers many approaches. Machine learning is just one of them, along with expert systems, natural language processing, computer vision, and speech recognition. Machine learning is the data-driven approach that took over once we had enough data. Show a system 10,000 labeled photos of dogs and cats, and it learns to tell them apart on its own, without anyone programming the rules, pointy ears, or whiskers. The more data you feed it, the better it gets. Think of it this way. AI is the broad ambition, making a car drive itself. ML is the method that actually spots the stop sign. The self-driving car uses both machine learning for seeing objects and symbolic AI rules for obeying traffic laws. Pause here and think. A bank's fraud detection system that gets better the more transactions it sees. Is that AI, machine learning, or both? Machine learning is a subset of AI, one way to achieve intelligence. And deep learning is a subset of ML that uses layered neural networks. But AI also includes older approaches like rule-based systems. They don't learn from data, but they're still AI. AI is everywhere. Google Assistant understands your voice, Netflix recommends shows, banks flag fraud in milliseconds. These are all examples of AI in action, and they don't all require machine learning. Some use rule-based systems, but many rely on ML to improve over time. A common rookie mistake is jumping straight into custom model training. Before you spend weeks collecting data and tuning a model, test the Vision API on your images. It can already recognize thousands of objects and categories. If it covers your use case, you've just saved yourself a mountain of work. Machine learning is about learning from data. Here's a tiny example. We load house sizes and prices, split the data, and fit a linear regression model. The model finds the best line. No rules programmed, just patterns discovered in the numbers. Machine learning comes in 3 flavors. Supervised learning works with labeled data. Unsupervised finds hidden patterns in unlabeled data. And reinforcement learning is trial and error, like teaching a robot to walk. Deep learning is a powerful branch of ML that uses layered neural networks. Instead of manually picking features, the network learns them. It's what drives many modern computer vision and large language models, although training these models typically requires substantial computational resources. Any machine learning project follows a pipeline. Gather data, clean it, train a model, evaluate its performance, then deploy it to production. Understanding this flow helps you plan real-world AI projects. Let's do a quick checkpoint. What is the difference between AI and machine learning, and can you name the 3 main learning types? Let's actually train a model in a Jupyter notebook. Import the libraries, load your dataset, split it into training and test sets, fit a linear regression model, and make predictions. This is the core loop of a data scientist. When it's time to train a model, cloud ML platforms give you multiple paths. Need a quick scikit-learn model? Use a pre-built container. Got a custom environment? Bring your own Docker image. Want to slash training time? Scale out across dozens of GPUs or even TPUs with a single configuration change. And if you dread manual tuning, turn on hyperparameter tuning. The platform runs a search while you grab coffee. Pick the path that fits your model and your deadline. A real ML project isn't a single script. It's a chain of steps. Tools like Kubeflow pipelines encode the workflow. Data ingestion, pre-processing, training, evaluation, and deployment, each running in its own containerized component. The orchestrator passes artifacts from step to step. Change a few lines, rerun the pipeline, and you've automatically retrained and redeployed a fresh model, fully traceable and repeatable. You'd never deploy code without version control. Why treat your models differently? When you version your trained models, you can track which training run produced which artifact. That lets you roll back if a new model starts recommending cat food to people who bought a wrench. Models deserve the same discipline as your production code. Here's a bug that has crushed ML deployments. Your training pipeline calculates a days since last purchase feature one way, and your serving endpoint does it slightly differently. Suddenly, the model sees numbers it never trained on. That's training serving skew. A feature store can help mitigate this by centralizing feature definitions. When training reads from the feature store and serving reads from the same store, they apply the same transformations, reducing inconsistencies. No more off-by-one nightmares, or at least far fewer of them. You don't need a training pipeline to test a Vision API. Go to your cloud provider's Vision API console, upload any photo, a car, a dog, a busy street. Check the label detection box, hit Analyze, and you'll see labeled objects with confidence scores. A result saying, car, 98%, means you can trust it. A banana, 55%, on a yellow car tells you maybe you need custom training. Either way, you just evaluated a computer vision solution without writing any code. You've seen the Vision API label an image. The Natural Language API does the same for text. Feed it a sentence and it instantly identifies entities, who's mentioned, what organizations, where it's happening. It also scores sentiment on a scale from -1 to +1, so you know if that customer review is a compliment or a complaint. And it parses syntax, breaking down every word's role in the sentence. All of this without a single line of training code. Try it yourself by pasting a sample review in your cloud provider's console. Beyond image and text, cloud providers offer a family of pre-trained APIs covering the full media spectrum. Speech-to-text transcribes audio in many languages, often with real-time streaming. Text-to-speech turns text into natural-sounding voices. The Translation API handles localization with a few API calls. Video Intelligence labels objects, shots, and explicit content in video files, no manual scrubbing, and Document AI extracts structured data from scanned forms, turning a PDF into usable JSON. You can stitch these together to build sophisticated applications without ever training a model. Time to apply your knowledge. You're tasked with transcribing calls and translating them. Pause and think. The answer? Use a speech-to-text API to transcribe the audio, then send the text through a translation API to get French output. Pre-trained APIs chain together like building blocks. Here's what nobody tells you about foundation models. The same model that can write a poem can also debug your code, interpret a medical image, or even compose music. Leading cloud AI platforms now offer multimodal models that process and generate text, images, audio, video, and code, all within a single architecture. These aren't just research milestones. They're APIs you can call today to build chatbots, content generators, or creative assistants that understand the world across multiple dimensions. Artificial intelligence isn't one size fits all. Cloud providers offer different tiers of AI models, each balancing capability with cost and speed. A lightweight model may be perfect for a chatbot that must respond instantly. A mid-tier model handles content generation. The largest models tackle complex reasoning but need more compute. And on-device models, the smallest, can run directly on your phone even offline. Picking the right tier is your first design decision. To choose, map capability against cost. On-device models score lowest on pure capability, but offer near-zero latency and no per-request cost. Lightweight models handle high-frequency tasks at a fraction of the price of bigger ones. Mid-tier models are the sweet spot for most applications. And large models deliver the best reasoning, but they're also the most expensive and slowest. For real-time apps, the cost savings from a mid-tier model over a large one can be the deciding factor. Let's lock that in. When building a real-time chatbot for thousands of users, which tier of model would you pick and why? Cloud platforms offer a model garden, a catalog of pre-trained models from various sources. You can explore models for text, images, audio, and more in a unified playground. Compare outputs, and choose the one that fits your use case. No separate accounts or APIs to manage. Machine learning workloads love specialized hardware. A CPU can do the job, but it's a generalist. GPUs, originally built for graphics, excel at parallel tasks and became the workhorse for ML. But dedicated AI accelerators go a step further. They're custom-built chips designed to accelerate the matrix math at the heart of deep learning. Using such hardware can offer significant performance improvements for large training jobs compared to general-purpose GPUs. And because they're tightly integrated with popular ML frameworks, you don't have to rewrite your code. Why choose a purpose-built AI accelerator over a GPU? A GPU is like a Swiss Army knife, great for many parallel tasks, from rendering to scientific computing. But an AI accelerator is a surgical instrument designed from the ground up for tensor operations. For very large-scale training workloads, dedicated AI accelerators can offer compelling performance and efficiency gains. If your pipeline is built on common ML frameworks, switching to a custom accelerator may significantly speed up training. GPUs remain formidable and versatile, but when you need to train at cloud scale, custom chips can be a game changer. Cloud providers give you multiple accelerator options. For inference workloads where cost matters most, a budget-friendly tier can cut your bill. For standard training, a balanced option delivers solid throughput without breaking the bank. And for the largest models where every minute counts, go with the highest performance tier. Even if it costs more, the speed savings pay off. The key is matching the hardware to the stage of your ML lifecycle. Let's test that. Under what circumstances does a dedicated AI accelerator make more sense than a general-purpose GPU? Here's how you add vision intelligence in a handful of lines. You import the request library, set the image URL, call the Cloud Vision API's label detection endpoint with the proper payload, and then loop over the returned annotations, printing each description and confidence score. Less than 10 lines to turn a picture into structured data. Pop quiz on the code you just saw. What exactly does each label in the response tell you about the image? Before we wrap up, let's quickly test the fundamental distinction behind all the GCP AI services. How do AI and machine learning relate to each other?